Hi! Today's drunken culinary adventure, we're taking Western staple foods, putting them in Eastern appetizers, and finding out which one reigns superior. Let's go! Today we're taking the West and putting it in the East. And no, I'm not talking about Mark Zuckerberg and his Asian wife. Don't worry, here at Tipsy Walk, we don't violate your personal data, just my liver. We're talking about egg rolls and rangoons, two immensely popular Asian appetizers. But we're gonna see what happens if we fill them with creamy gourmet mac and cheese, and which one tastes better. Here's what you're gonna need. Spring roll wrappers for your egg rolls, obviously. Wonton wrappers, and a box of instant mac and cheese. Now you're gonna take this and you're gonna throw it the crap away, because we're making this from scratch. Elbow pasta. Now if you don't have this, I don't know, good luck trying to find meat pasta. I mean, come on, it's elbow pasta, it's everywhere. All-purpose flour, preferably one that doesn't have a leak somewhere in the bag. Butter, your two best friends, salt and pepper. Cayenne pepper, garlic powder or garlic salt. Half and half, whole and whole. Shredded sharp cheddar, you can do it like yourself, like our ancestors did. Probably. Or you can just buy pre-shredded. Extra sharp cheddar. Some sort of frying oil. Now this is canola. You can use canola, vegetable, peanut, I don't know, soybean, whatever it is. As long as it has a high smoke point, it's good for frying. 2 sprigs of green onion, finely chopped, and bacon bits. Now, if you're a vegetarian, you can obviously leave this step out. And if you're a vegan, why the hell are you making macaroni and cheese? That's it. Well, relatively speaking. Let's go. Cook these according to instructions. I mean, I shouldn't really have to tell you how to do this. The instructions are literally on the box. The important thing is to make sure that you cook it for 1 minute less than the box says to do it. We want them a little undercooked because we're gonna finish cooking them in the oven and, you know, science and stuff. Preheat your oven to 350. Now we're gonna talk about the most important part of mac and cheese, and that is the roux. Now, if you don't know what roux is, it's basically a sort of thickening agent that is really, really important to a good cheese sauce and obviously a good mac and cheese. And we're gonna make a roux so good that it's gonna make Katniss cry. So you're gonna heat up a large pot on medium. Take your butter, cut it up into nice manageable pieces, and then drop them in there. You do this because you create more surface area in those pieces of butter so that the butter melts faster. That's right, we Asians can be good at science too. Let this melt on medium heat. Once the butter started to melt, you're gonna put in equal parts of flour. Now I'm using 1/4 of a cup or half a stick of butter. I have 1/4 of a cup of flour in here. You're gonna drop that in and make sure you stir it in nice and slow. This is becoming pretty roux-like, and it is becoming very evident that this pot is probably a little bit too big for the job. You're gonna add your 1 cup of milk, stir that in very gradually, and or making a mess all over the place. Do as I say, not as I mess up. That's the oven, it's preheated, hooray. Your 1 cup of half and half, which I realize is not half like 1% milk and half whole milk, it's actually half milk and half cream, which is, you know, that's important. So, well, anyway, this is burning, so we gotta gently, so that you don't get milk all over the place. Make sure this roux melts in with it. I probably need a better utensil for this. This is terrible for whisking. Aha! You're just gonna basically continue to whisk this for about 8 minutes or so until the mixture has sort of thickened. All right, that's looking nice and beautiful. What you're gonna do now is you're gonna add in 4 ounces of your extra sharp cheddar and 8 ounces of your sharp cheddar. Now you're gonna add this in very gradually. Make sure that you stir as you add and make sure you mix it until it's well combined. Oh no, oh no. Oh well, everything's pretty much ready. Just gotta shut off the heat now and then combine the two. Take your elbow macaroni. All right, that sat for a little long. Take this delicious mixture, dump it into a baking pan or a casserole dish or, you know, whatever it is that you want to stick in the oven. Whatever. Make sure this is nice and even. Now you're gonna add a 1/4 tablespoon of the following: salt, pepper, cayenne powder, and garlic salt. Now, you may be wondering why we're adding this now instead of at a sensible time like, you know, when we're making the roux. And the truth of the matter is, I'm drunk and I forgot, so add it during the roux. Once you've finished atoning for my mistakes and mixing this thoroughly enough, we're gonna spice it up a little bit. So we're gonna add our green onion and our bacon pieces. And finally, you're gonna wanna add 4 more ounces of the sharp cheddar. Just drizzle it on top. Looks about good, I think. Let's throw it in the oven. And you're gonna leave it in there for 20 minutes so that it can get baked more than Snoop Dogg on April 20th. See you in 20 minutes. All right. We're gonna set this aside. We're gonna let this cool for a little bit because then we're gonna put it in our egg rolls and our wontons and then we're gonna fry them. In a wok, you're gonna set this to about medium-low-ish. It's about a 4 out of 10. You're gonna fill a small pot or a pan or whatever up to about maybe like an inch or so of oil. So while we're waiting for those to heat up, I'm gonna show you how to make the egg rolls and the wontons. Diamond shape here, I find it a little easier to make egg rolls with. Kind of spoon however much you want in the middle. You'll kind of learn how much you want in here after you make the first one. Maybe you want a little bit more, a little bit less, whatever. Take one end, fold it over, and kind of roll it until it's that egg roll kind of shape, or more like you're rolling it, fold over the edges like this, kind of like you're wrapping a burrito. Roll it kind of like you're wrapping a burrito until you get something like this. Now this flap here, what you're gonna wanna do is take some water that you've set aside for this and basically seal it with some water. You don't want to use too much because then it'll react violently with the hot oil. As long as it kind of adheres, it'll finish adhering with the rest of the frying. Now for the Rangoon, you're going to want to use a lot less. So about a tablespoon or so's worth. Take some water, dab around all 4 of the edges. And what you're going to want to do is take all 4 sides and meet them together, kind of like like a fortune teller of some sort. The water will help all 4 edges adhere to one another, theoretically speaking. You want to leave a little bit of air on the inside or on the outside there, right in the middle, so that when it does fry, it doesn't like balloon up into some crazy shape. So we're only gonna fry a couple at a time. We're gonna do 2 egg rolls and 3 Rangoons for this, just about as much as the wok can fit. Once your oil is nice and hot, about 350 degrees or so, start dropping them in. Yeah, that's hot. I don't really think we have room for this, so we're just gonna do these 2 at once. Now, the heat is on so low because you don't want these to over fry, right? Everything in there is already cooked. You just kind of want it to slightly melt a little bit. Leave it in there to fry for, a little under a minute per side. Flip it over when it starts to become nice and browned. Once it's starting to get nice and brown, flip it over. Oh, that's right. We're frying with oil, so make sure that you turn that your fan on. Turn that your fan is on. That's English. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's take these out. Obviously, you want to dab off any excess oil. Now your Rangoon. You could probably fit, a couple more than these, depending on the size of your wok or pot or whatever it is that you're using, but you know what? I'm drunk and lazy. Gonna want to move these around for a couple of minutes. Once they've started to brown a little bit on the underside, you can kind of turn them or flip them, I guess. Once they're nice and crispy and golden brown, take them out. Oh, shit, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? Where did the water come from?
Onto the plate? I don't know.
Whatever. All right, it's go time. Obligatory disclaimer, if you liked all of our drunken adventures, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, share, follow us on, you know what, just do the thing. You know what to do by now, hit subscribe. Wonton is up first, let's go. Wow. Yeah, it's very cheesy. The texture of the crunch is really, really great. That cheese is so nice. That's gonna be tough to beat. Let's see about this egg roll. Okay, you get a lot more of that cheesy goodness from the mac and cheese. There's not as much crunch around it because obviously, the ratios are way off compared to the last one. Oh, the flavor is really, really nice. You get some nice bacon, some salt, pepper. It's just hard. The flavor of the wrapper in and of itself for the Rangoon was actually better. I liked it better than the egg roll one. I feel like the egg rolls are a lot easier to eat and you get a lot more of the mac and cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and give this to the egg roll by a slight margin because you get the mac and cheese in it and you also get the crunch, so you get the best of both worlds. Both of them are really, really good. You can't really go wrong with either. The egg roll takes a little less long to cook, but really it's peanuts of a difference. You're getting deep fried mac and cheese either way, so. And if, of course, you do make it or you have any ideas for what you do want us to make in the future, please let us know. And as always, I'll see you next week. Bye. And cook it for 1 minute less than the box. Get the You're hankering for a spankering. Stop it.